What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's a cold Monday evening here in Findlay, Ohio, but for a lot of Ohioans, today is a glorious day. Cleveland Browns achieved a playoff victory yesterday against their arch enemies, I guess. Well, one of their arch enemies, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and moved on to the next round of the playoffs. So congratulations to all you Browns fans out there. As an Eagles fan, my team is at home watching TV, golfing, or whatever it is rich football players do when they fail to make it to the playoffs. So congratulations, guys. Enjoy this moment. The beer that I'm going to try today is Yuengling Light Lager. I have tried a couple of other of the Yingling beers on the program already. I did the Yuengling Flight when we were kind of doing the low-cal, low-carb beers, and I did the Yuengling Oktoberfest a while back as well. I think it was the first Oktoberfest that I actually saw hit the shelf. Yuengling is a brewery that's kind of near and dear to my heart. When I was in college, Yingling was our go-to beer. We usually drank Yuengling Premium. It's kind of less popular. They're probably more known for the Yuengling Lager. Right now, that's kind of has a better distribution. But we used to be able to get Yuengling kegs for maybe $2 or $3 more than Milwaukee's Best. So it kind of seemed like a no-brainer to me and my friends that we'd rather drink Yuengling for a few bucks more than Beast. So I've kind of liked them. Back then, though, I think they only had a few offerings. They had Yuengling Premium, Yuengling Lager, the Black and Tan, Lord Chesterfield's Ale, and the Porter. Now they do a lot of other stuff as well. I know they have the seasonal, so they do an Oktoberfest that they didn't have back in the day. They also do the Hershey's Porter, which I've seen a few videos on and tried that. It's pretty decent. And, you know, I know from time to time that I've seen a Bach beer in the past and some other kind of releases. So they're expanding. Yingling's also kind of interesting because, like I said, back when I started drinking Yingling in the, I guess, mid-90s, it was already the oldest brewery in the United States, still is, but it was relatively limited distribution. Really, you could get it in Pennsylvania, I guess. Even in Pennsylvania, I lived in Philadelphia, you couldn't find Yingling in Philly in the mid-90s. I know places have signs now saying proudly serving since 1976. That's bullshit. They didn't have that back in the day. I remember coming in the bars and asking for Yingling, and they made fun of me and said they didn't have it. All this kind of stuff. Now the same places are proudly serving since 1976. That's a lie, flat out lie. Now they've expanded over the years. I was lucky when I moved to Florida. They opened up a facility in Tampa Bay, and I know their production's growing every day. It's kind of interesting. I was looking up some rankings from the Craft Brewers Association, and Yingling is actually listed as the largest craft brewery, which kind of brings up a question of when do you cease being a craft brewery? At what point do you move over the threshold? I know that some matrices kind of use measures of barrels sold and this kind of stuff. But a lot of the things that I guess at one point were craft breweries or microbreweries like Boston Beer Works, Sam Adams, Yingling, and Sierra Nevada, these guys are so big now that many would say that they're really not microbreweries or craft beer anymore, that they've kind of jumped over that threshold. I'll leave that argument for another day. According to the Craft Brewers Association, Yingling's still on the list and I guess #1 for production. I do know that there are a lot of folks who still can't get Yingling in some states, but I thought I read recently that they're expanding their production, so you should be reaching out into some of the other states that they weren't previously selling. All right, so enough talking. I'm going to go with this glass today. This is my John Kruk glass. John Kruk's my favorite Phillies baseball player. This is a glass that was ironically put out by Yingling for, I guess, the 40th anniversary of the Reading Phillies. And I guess Krucker played for them in '94. It must have been an injury assignment or something because he was on the great 1993 Phillies team. So I doubt he was in the minors in '94, probably an injury rehab assignment. Nonetheless, there's the great Krucker wearing a Reading Phillies hat. All right. This beer here is 99 calories per 12 ounce. This is going to be a 24 ounce can, but for each 12 ounces, 99 calories and 8.5 grams of carbohydrates for those that are on the carb counting or the carb hunt. So it's not the lowest in the carb count. Calorie-wise, pretty solid. So this is 3.8% ABV too, really low ABV. Let's check it out. Ratings, I got a 2.98 on Untapped, 2.86 on Beer Advocate. So not great, but for a light lager, I'd say probably not too bad. I'm actually surprised it's pouring darker than I had expected. For a light lager, I expected this to kind of be yellow or clear. It does actually have a lagerish color to it. Probably a bit lighter in color than the traditional, Yingling traditional lager, but there's still a lager color to this. Fair amount of carbonation. Doesn't look too bad color-wise. Head's a bit soapy, but it's there. I mean, it's at least a thumb's thickness or width here on my fat thumb. Doesn't look too bad. Smell. Smells a bit sweet. Pick up a little bit of malt. I've drank plenty of Yuengling Lager in my day. The light lager, not so much. I think it kind of has a passing resemblance for Yuengling Lager. Probably a little bit lighter smelling, but definitely smells similar. Taste. Honestly, I think it, well, I mean, I guess it should taste like a bit of a watered down Yuengling Lager. The body, I think, is on the medium to light end, so I guess, but not a surprise if we're going for a light lager. It has a bit of a crispness to it that's a bit odd. The taste, I think you do pick up some maltiness, but it's kind of subdued. Again, if it's a light lager, 99 calories, all this stuff, probably not a huge surprise. Do get a bit of a biscuity sweetness. I honestly thought it was going to be more of like a corn sweetness from the smell, but it's not. It's more like that kind of biscuity sweetness going on. Hops, I would say, is non-existent. There's really no hoppiness to it whatsoever. You do get a little bit of a caramel taste, maybe at the end, but it's, again, really subdued and really light. What do I think about this when I drink it again? I guess I've got to kind of compare this against some of the other light lagers. And, again, this is a light lager, not the light pale ales or IPAs. If I compared this to the Deschutes or Lagunitas, I think this is worse than those. But if I were to compare it to other traditional kind of light lagers, I think this would crush something like a Coors Light or Miller Lite. I would take this any day of the week over that. I probably wouldn't work it into the regular rotation, but if we're just strictly comparing light lagers, would I drink this again? Yeah, I would drink it again. Do I think it's great? Absolutely not. Did I think it was going to be great coming in? Absolutely not. Light lagers, light beers, they are what they are. If you're trying to watch calories, cut back a little bit, reduce, as they say, then this is a solid option for you. I don't think it's a bad beer. So Yingling Light Lager, you would get the thumbs up. I would have another one of these. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up below. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, jump in below. Let me know what you think. If you've had the light lager, let me know your thoughts. If you think it stacks up to something else favorably, let me know. Hey, until next time, cheers.